Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Brett and I'm the founder of the Momentum Revolution, and I'm here to talk to you regularly about the various topics that I believe that we need to speak to as a society, but especially as men, because a lot of times we bury our feelings and our emotions and we really need to deal with them and move forward. So this is trying to give people permission to go, you know what, it's all right to feel this, it's okay to deal with it, and it's all right to ask for help. And it's something we need to incorporate into our psyche as a society to change this whole be tough, be hard, I'm okay. That's bullshit. That has to stop. So today I want to talk to you about grief. And grief is basically the emotional suffering of loss. It's the pain we feel when we lose something. And the most common one that we know and we talk about is the loss of a loved one. When we lose a mum or a dad or a brother or sister or best mate, you know, that loss can rip our hearts out and we just don't know how to turn that around. But also the loss of a relationship, you know, a marriage ending, losing a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a partner and not seeing it coming, you know, that can really tear us apart. And not having that person around, it's the death of the relationship, it's the death of a marriage. The death of the family unit. If there is a divorce, I'll speak soon. If there is a divorce, you know, you've lost that family unit and you don't get to see your children or your kids as much as you'd like to. Also, it could be a job, when you lose a job unexpectedly, or everyone loves their fur babies. When you lose a fur baby who's part of the family, they're like a child to a lot of us. I mean, Kim and I don't have kids, and our fur baby is sitting right there. She's our child, and we'd be heartbroken when the day comes. Loss of a friendship that wasn't expected or you didn't see coming. And another one, which can be quite common for anyone in particular, but and that's someone losing their life's dream, not being able to accomplish what they set out to do for various reasons. The most easiest example to give is that of a sports star or up-and-coming sports person who has got the dream to go to the Olympics or play AFL football or represent Australia in a particular sport. And if they have a career-ending injury, then they can't fulfill that dream. And that in itself is a great loss, and they have to deal with that loss of not being able to achieve that goal anymore. And our grief can come out in a variety of ways, emotionally, physically, and socially. It can affect our sleep, our appetite, which then affects our weight. We can't concentrate or get headaches, you get chest pains. We can even have suicidal ideation, which means that we even contemplate taking our own life. That's how low and dark it can be and how tough grief can hit us, and the loss of whatever we've lost in that moment. And we can also lose interest in the things we used to love to do. We just have no joy in them anymore. We can become numb, become bitter, irritable, and detached from other people. And that interest, we can't experience joy. We can't find how we can experience joy anymore. We've just shut down emotionally because the pain's been so great. Now, there used to be 5 stages of grief, but now there's 7. So I'll run through the 7. And this is the more recent stuff from what I can understand. So shock is one. The first one that comes along, you're shocked and you can't believe it's happened. The second stage is denial. You just deny that it has happened. The third one is you try to bargain your way out of it, try and make a deal with fate. You know, if you give me this, I'll just want this bit of extra time with someone who's passed or is about to pass. Because you can grieve for someone, even if they haven't passed yet and they might be on the way out. Then there's the guilt. Why them? Why not me? The anger about why the fuck did it happen to them? This is not fair. Life's not fair. It's bullshit. Then the depression, which is stage 6. And finally, the acceptance. And that can be really tough to get to that stage. But once you get to that acceptance, you can move on. I heard an analogy about I'll share a couple of analogies with you, actually. And I've got a scar on my chin. Okay. Now, I did that when I was 8. I was playing Tarzan and I jumped off a wall to grab a branch and I missed. And I was, beforehand, I was swinging and, you know, being a boy playing Tarzan, actually. Anyway, this one time, I got it, Mum, watch this. I jumped out, I missed it, head first into a brick wall that was lower. face first, knocked teeth out, split my chin open. I could actually put my finger through, all the way through. And it was just bleeding everywhere. And so that scar was horrible and painful and gnawry, and it was just ugly, and it was red and inflamed. It was horrible for a couple of weeks. Bit by bit, it got a bit better. And then for about 3 or 4 or 5 years, it had a little red dot right there. And then bit by bit, that dot faded. Big red, it was like a red blotch almost. And bit by bit, that faded to the point where I look in the mirror now, I don't even notice it. It's gone. It's always with me, and I'll have it for the rest of my life, but the pain and the ugliness of it has gone. And that's the same with grief. When we first get it, it's that ugly, horrible, painful feeling. We just don't know when it's going to go away. And then bit by bit, it heals a little bit, then it heals a bit more and heals a bit more. Another analogy, which is one really present at the moment, about 4 weeks ago, I broke a rib, very innocuously. And for the first week, every time I moved, coughed, laughed, it bloody hurt. And then it got a bit better. Then I'd lay down on it and move over in the middle of the night, and it'd wake me again. And the pain would be like a trigger. It'd wake me up. And I'd lay back down again and roll over, and it'd wake me up again. And I went to work as a chiropractor, hence the doctor, went to adjust someone, and I used too much of my body and I hit my rib. Whoa, massive trigger, bounce back, oh, the pain. Bit by bit over the last 4 weeks, it's gradually healed. Until now, I don't feel it at all until in the middle of the night, my wife rolls over and whacks me in the rib, and it's back again. Or if I get up in the middle of the night, I can sometimes feel it as well. So there's still these little reminders, little triggers. And the same happens with grief. Really painful initially, and then bit by bit, we improve, then we get triggered, and we go back again. We improve, we get triggered, we go back again. And those triggers can be a memory, a place, a meal, first anniversary of their death, first birthday party without them being there, first Christmas. And all those little things are triggers. And bit by bit, that pain, that reminder, those triggers will be a little bit less. And what's really important with grief is we have to, when we lose something, we have to appreciate what we had with that person or with that particular thing. You know, I lost my uncle a few years back to cancer, and I went straight into gratitude mode. And that gratitude was like, I got to spend this amazing time with an amazing man who taught me so many great lessons. Yes, I'm going to miss him. Yes, I love him. But it's that gratitude allowed me to get it through because I appreciated the great times. Yes, I still had some triggers. Things come up on Facebook, etc., that reminded me of him. But there was still, at the end of it, to the point now, it's like, I'm just grateful that he was my life. And yes, we miss him, but the pain isn't like it was when we first passed. And that's the sort of stuff that we need to get to when it comes to that acceptance. There's a guy, Doug Manning, and Doug said, grieving is, I'm going to have to read this, sorry. Grieving is as natural as crying when you are hurt, sleeping when you're tired, eating when you're hungry, or sneezing when your nose itches. It's nature's way of healing a broken heart. And that's so true. And there was a J.W. Warden did a book, a handbook for the mental health practitioner, grief counselling and grief therapy. And he said that the task of the mourning model means, 1, you have to accept the reality of the loss. 2, experience the pain of the loss. 3, adjust to the new environment without that lost person. And 4, reinvest in the new reality while remembering the deceased. And that's really poignant. We have to reinvest in our new future without that person being there. If the loss is actually about a person or the marriage or the kids, whatever it is, we have to reinvest in ourselves and our new future so we can actually live a life but still remember what we've lost and appreciate it and be grateful for it and for the lessons that we've learned. I hope that's helped. Like I said, I'm Dr. Brett. Please click on the Momentum Revolution Facebook page. Dr. Brett, whatever, like this, share this, get it out there, and you'll get some more content from me through the week about this. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace, love, and healing. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.